Hey, Donovan. Just wanted to get your general thoughts about how the offensive line performed on Saturday relative to your expectations.
I mean, it's always a learning process coming in with a group of guys that didn't all play together last year. So for our first game, I felt like we did pretty well as far as protecting the quarterback and in the run game, opening up holes for the running backs and just really being physical at the line of scrimmage. And I feel like just as time goes on, each week we'll get more and more feel for each other. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Donovan, I know obviously you like to have an offense that's balanced between the pass and the run, but when you see the quarterback and the running backs posting over 250 yards rushing as an offensive lineman, is that a fun game to be part of?
I mean, yeah, it's always fun just to get after it because in the run game, you get to be a little bit more aggressive just because you're firing off the line of scrimmage. So whenever we get into those games where we're running the ball a lot, it feels like the team's just relying on the offensive line's success at that point. And the running backs will contribute to that a little bit, making guys miss and whatnot. But I feel like whenever we can get into a game where we're counting on the O-line, it's definitely a good feeling.
Chris. What'd you think, Donovan, about just the added size and strength that you put on and also how the rest of the offensive linemen did in that regard against a similarly athletic, big physical team like USC?
Yeah, for me personally, I just feel like the size and strength that I added over the offseason helped with like the bull rush and things like that, just staying more firm rather than getting pushed back. And then as far as a unit, I feel like, yeah, I feel like we did really, really good out there. Just driving the guys. Like, we were the more physical team out there, and like we made some mistakes here and there, but overall for a first game, I felt like we did pretty well.
Jacob.
Hey, Donovan, I'm curious from your perspective what it's been like preparing for Cal and some of your observations of them as far as the defensive unit goes and kind of what things you need to prepare for in facing them.
Yeah, so Cal shows like odd and even front. So last week we were mainly preparing for USC's odd front, but this week we're gonna have to be prepared for both. And as far as like Cal's D line, they're a little bit different than USC's line. We're probably gonna see a more aggressive play style from them. So I mean, yeah, we just gotta take each game 1 week at a time and go from there.
Doug.
On Rashad's long touchdown pass, I know you looked like you were blocking the other way, but what did you see on that play, and just what were your overall impressions on that?
So when I first seen him catch the ball, I was on like the opposite side of the field blocking my guy. So I thought it was just gonna be like a little quick 10-yard gain, and then next thing you know, he puts a move on the defender, breaks down the sideline, takes it for a long touchdown, and just seeing that on the field, it got me pumped up because we got a bunch of good running backs behind us, and they all bring a little bit of different skill set to the table. So just seeing him get his little time to shine, it was good for the team.
Michael.
Yeah, Donovan, to piggyback off that, obviously you're blocking for him. And like you said, I mean, the physicality you guys showed was great. But, I mean, the response from these freshman running backs, we've heard they're talented. So I'm guessing their big games really, really didn't surprise you, or did they actually surprise your expectations for them?
Coming in, especially from last year, we had a really good running back and, Benjamin. And he had been here for some time before I got here. So it's just a little different because he was like one of our main leaders last season. And like I stepped into a role where it's more like looking up to him per se. So just having these younger guys come in, they're all fighting for the position, trying to prove themselves. So I wouldn't say I was surprised to see their skill set on the field by any means, but just finally getting out there against some other opponents, it's actually the real deal, and it was good to see them step up to the occasion.
Zach.
Hey, Donovan, really appreciate your time this afternoon. I know this is something that's out of your control, but this morning was there any element of anxiety surrounding this this game on Saturday, whether or not it could or won't take place?
I mean, I'm sure it's there in the back of everyone's mind. Like, who knows what's going to happen from here on out? But we could only control like what we do on our end of things. So we're going to come out here and attack each day like we're playing regardless of what happens, because we always want to stay prepared.
Last question, Hode.
Donovan, I know when the preseason started, you probably slated to play right guard and not left guard. But obviously you've been practicing there for quite a few weeks before the season opener. Now that you got to play your first game at left guard, I mean, how did you feel the transition was for you on game day? And just playing against, next to Kellen Deesh, how did that chemistry work between you guys?
Yeah, so I actually made my transition over to the left side. Like when we first came back from the quarantine lockdown and stuff. So me and Kellen had a good amount of time to just work on the techniques and double team, stuff like that. So I feel like the transition from right guard to left guard went pretty smooth for me, especially since when I first came in my first spring ball here 2 Januaries ago, I got reps at left guard. So I'm comfortable playing on either side of the line. And I just feel like, the time that we had in the off season was good for me and Kellen to get some work and get our chemistry done.
All right, thanks, Donovan.
No problem.